Hi everyone, welcome to our Biblio adventure to Long Island, New York. This is Chris, narrating on behalf of Emily, and we are the Book Cougars, two middle-aged women on the hunt for a good read. We also love to visit bookstores and libraries. This Biblio adventure started with the car drive from Guilford, Connecticut to New London, where we took the ferry to Orient Point on the North Fork of Long Island. We drove along the North Fork and curved around the bay to the South Fork, which is the Hamptons. We had lunch at a fabulous French restaurant called I Baguette You, also known as Armin and Judy. It's a restaurant and a bakery. A few blocks from that is a Barnes & Noble that we wanted to visit that has the new layout. We are excited to check that out. We drove up to Sag Harbor, where we ran into John Steinbeck and Charley. We also visited Sag Harbor Books. We took another ferry to Shelter Island, which is a place Emily has read a lot about, where we did get to see the Shelter Island Library. We made a stop at Black Cat Books before taking another ferry back to the North Fork, where we got to visit the Floyd Memorial Library in Greenport. After that, we drove back to Orient Point, where we hopped on the ferry and got to watch the sunset over the Sound and New London, which was beautiful. But our day started in New London like this, waiting to get on the ferry. The ferry is for cars, but also commercial vehicles, as you can see this huge semi coming on. And we just love nautical stuff, so here and there we just have photos of cool looking nautical things. But a quick shot of the map again. You can see New London on the left, Groton on the right. And in the middle of that body of water is the Thames River. So we just wanted to point that out. It's New London and the Thames River as opposed to London and the Thames. And right where we were docked, there's some wind energy being installed, which is pretty neat to see. Across the way, that obelisk is in Groton, and it commemorates a Revolutionary War battle, I believe. Here we are pulling out into the Thames River. On the left, you can see some maritime industry. On the right is a beautiful wooden ship. There's a close-up of that. On the left is Fort Trumbull, which is another Revolutionary War site. Here we are leaving the Thames and heading into the Long Island Sound proper. There's a lighthouse straight ahead. Here's one on the right. Beautiful white lighthouse. Here's a photo of us with the lighthouse in the background, pulling abreast of it. We hung out at the bow of the boat most of the time because we just love that view, watching the open water in front of us and the horizon. Here we are, wind in our hair. Here's our view. And in the background, Emily was just getting confirmation that it was wind power that we saw being constructed back by the bridge. But this is the gorgeous view that we had. You can see Long Island in the distance. When the weather's nice, you can see Long Island from Connecticut and vice versa. And here we are a little bit more in the middle of Long Island Sound, looking at some of the islands that are there. Another lighthouse. You'll see that one at sunset on the way back. And there was one of the ferries. They go back and forth all day long. Here's a shot from inside the ferry. Our car is kind of like right below those stairs there. From inside the ferry when we took a walk around. And up on top. This is a perfect day for this. We really lucked out. And there we are. That's from our perch. We just love everything about being on the water. And there's Long Island coming up. And now here we are pulling up to Long Island, and that is another one of the ferries. We just wanted to show this for those of you who like nautical things.
The nose is up. Yeah, totally. Alright, it's gonna go down. It's gonna come up.
So yeah, that was us speculating on how these things work. And as you'll see in the next video clip, which is actually 5 minutes long, but I sped it up so you don't have to suffer through all of that, you'll see that the ship that we're on opens differently. This one, the whole bow raised, and ours kind of opens up more like a clam claw. There's our 5 minutes. And here we are in New York. It was a great drive, or ride, I should say, about 90 minutes, I think. And then here's our route, a little bit more of a close-up of what we did there. Lunch was at I Baguette You, a restaurant by Armin and Judy. Around the corner from here, from the restaurant, we visited a new Barnes & Noble. We wanted to see what their new layout was like. It's in this little strip mall area. We really liked their artwork that they used to cover the windows with. Very lovely bookish stuff. And there's just another shot of outside in the strip mall that it's in. And walking in, here's what you see when you first walk in. To the left is the cash registers. Straight ahead, new and notable. There's another shot of kind of the register area. You could see a little bit. New fiction is off to the right. We were there in the middle of the day, so the store wasn't packed, but we still tried to, not take too many pictures with people shopping. We love face outs, of course. Here are two of our favorites that were faced out. And I love the background of this end cap, that they actually decorated it. And then this book. Love, love, love the artistic time that went into this book. That's the self-explanatory slide. We checked out the romance section, of course, where we found Nora Roberts, the Trilogy, the first of which we just read for the second quarter. In our third quarter pick, Sandra Brown's Envy, we found in the mystery and thriller section. It is a romance. It is a mystery thriller. We can't wait to read it. The discussion date will be sometime in September, so we hope you join us on that. Here's a historical fiction table. We really enjoyed the tables that they had around the store. The end caps, as you can see, look great. I really liked the lighter wood. Emily really noticed the lighting and how easy on the eye it was, but very much helping you be able to see very expansively throughout the store and zeroing in too on what you're looking at. They had some seating around the store, lots of puzzles and games. Coming up next is a shot of the magazine section. 3 things that are really important for a seaside community resort area. Check out where we made our purchases, and then we were on to Sag Harbor, where we stopped at the John Steinbeck Waterfront Park. It has a boardwalk here, and on either end is a little free library. So we visited both. And on the one closer to the road is this full-size statue of John Steinbeck and his trusty companion, Charley. We enjoyed this so much. It's called Assistant Editor, and it's by Seward Johnson. You'll see why it's titled as it is coming up. It was donated to the village of Sag Harbor by Century Arts Foundation, 29th November 2016. And here we are, just giving you so you can see that it's like full size, what it looks like close up. And this is what Mr. Steinbeck is working on. And his trusty companion, assistant editor, is looking at him, trying to give him some advice. Charley's like, "Listen to me, John. I'm your trusty companion." And when John looks at him like, huh? He has that dog tilt to his head, which is hysterical. We love that so much. But Charley is saying here, "Trust me, John. Trust me." And when they're not working, John and Charley have this wonderful view. A few blocks down is Sag Harbor Books, which we were so happy to make it to. Coming up are just some shots from the inside of the store. Very well lit, happy looking interior. We did some browsing around and especially looked for John Steinbeck. We found The Winter of Our Discontent on the front tables. We both love that book. And then Emily found a vintage Grapes of Wrath. They do have vintage books and some collectibles there. T-shirts, bags, and this one was definitely out of our price range. In Dubious Battle, first edition, first printing, signed by the author, $3,500. We are so happy to have made it to Sag Harbor Books. And our next destination was to leave Sag Harbor for Shelter Island. This is an island that Emily had read a lot about, so she was particularly excited to go. We both were excited to take another ferry. We cruised right on to the boat. We were the last slot there. So here we are. There's another ferry going the opposite direction. It's a pretty quick ride. And we paid cash. I suppose they might take credit cards, but it's always good to have cash for situations like this because it's quick and no hassle. And here you can see how close the islands are. There's our Biblio Adventure Mobile. And here we are just about docking. We got to see the Shelter Island Library, and then we stopped at Black Cat Books. This is the book that Chris didn't buy, and she wonders if she should have. Anyone read this one? We're on ferry number 3.
Heading from Shelter Island back to the mainland of Long Island, I guess the north side of Long Island, so that we can take ferry number 4 from Orient Point back to New London, Connecticut.
Yes, it's been a great day. This has been my first time to Long Island, and it's been amazing.
Really beautiful. And we even ran into John Steinbeck and Charley.
We did. Back on Long Island, we got to stop and see the Floyd Memorial Library in Greenport. Coming up are some photos from inside. The librarians were super friendly. As usual, we try not to take photos with patrons just to respect everyone's privacy. So here are just some highlights. Looks like a delightful library to hang out and work. They had nice plush seating. I always take a picture when I run into Abraham Lincoln at a library. Love those doors in the back and the light coming through them. Just looks like a great place to hang out and work. This was in the magazine section. That's Emily's little foot coming. This is upstairs in the fiction section. More nice seating. Really lovely library. They had some wonderful nautical artwork. Who doesn't just love pictures of the inside of libraries? Coming up is a picture with Emily in a book that she keeps running into. Should she read it? Have you read it? Do you recommend it? And here we are at Orient Point, getting ready to roll on to our last ferry of the day. This is the view from on top of the ferry. They have nice benches up there. As you can see, there's seating down below with nice little tables and chairs. They also have seating inside. This woman was reading Wuthering Heights. It was fun to see readers throughout the day. And we just love nautical stuff, like especially the ropes. And here we are at the bow of the ship, heading back. There's Emily taking a picture of me. And just wanted you to see the horizon. There's Connecticut in the distance. And the sun is starting to go down. You can see the lovely pinks, oranges starting to form in the background there. And here's a ferry we wish we could have taken, but the timing didn't work out. It's the Cape Henlopen. This ship was built in World War II as a troop landing craft. It was converted into a ferry in 1966, but it actually landed on Normandy in 1944, which we think is pretty astounding, and also that it's still in service. Here's a lighthouse that we saw on the way out, now at sunset. And here we are heading back into the river. You can see some of that marine industry there on the right-hand side. A lot of shipbuilding and ship repair. New London / Groton is also home to a submarine base, so you can see a submarine there getting some work done. We got called back to our cars, and so here's everyone going to their cars. We met that adorable doggy. And here's another dog that got to hang out with their person for the day. Pulling into port, the day is done. It was nice to make it home before the sunset. We hope that you get out to experience your own Biblio adventure. Thank you so much for watching this one. Until next time, everyone, we wish you lots of happy reading.